Hi, I'm Kirstin Kelly. Today we're going to be teaching you about circles. So the biggest thing I want you to think about when you ride a circle, because you ride thousands of them every year, is that to ride a circle correctly is so important for the balance of your horse. So when you lunge a youngster or a stiff horse, it's really clear. On the supple side, the horse will overbend to the inside and he'll push his shoulder out, so he will drift out. And on the stiff side, he's going to drop his inside hind leg, so he's not going to step under, and then he falls in. So if you don't fix these things every time you ride a circle, you are allowing the horse to deviate off the circle. He'll be pushing on one side and he'll be caving in on the other side. So when we look at the circle, we're actually discussing suppleness and how to make the horse straight and forward. So what I want you to think about is when you're riding your circles, is think that when he naturally bulges out, we have to shut the door. So it's just a little closing of your outside rein and a little hug from your outside leg. When he goes to cut the corner, what he's doing is he's actually not engaging his inside hind leg and putting it underneath his tummy. So he's not supported, so that's why he falls in with his shoulders. And then we need to actually teach him to step up off your inside leg, lift his shoulders, and then you will have a horse that stays straight up into your hand. So for first off, I'm just going to show you the bend. Now see, when we look at the horse's shoulders, right smack dab in the middle of his shoulders is his neck, okay? And so what we have here is correct. He's balanced and his neck is hanging right in the center of his body, okay? But when we put in too much bend, okay, here, that's it, good boy. That's good for every now and then we give it a little stretch and supple him up. But if he's constantly working here, what starts to happen is the horse then starts to drift out through the shoulder like that. So when we want to work the horse generally, his neck's always in the center of his shoulders. Then if he feels a little bit tight, we put in a bit of flexion. We can put the flexion to the inside, or we can put a little bit of flexion to the outside, which just helps getting him to step his shoulders in. So I'm going to show you at the canter. Okay, so this horse naturally likes to bend too much to the inside. Okay, so then what starts to happen is his neck bends. See how it's not in the center of his neck anymore? It's over bending to the inside. That's it. And so then what starts to happen is his quarters creep in, and so then we can't straighten him anymore. Okay, to fix that, I just close the door on the outside rein. There you go, see I just lifted it slightly, and I just steadied it, and now his neck is back in the center of his body. That's it, so then we can get that nice balance. Remember guys, you spend probably 50% of your time on a circle. So if it's not ridden correctly, you're spending half your time encouraging the horse to go in correctly. He would like to bend far more to the inside and then push his shoulder out. Now you see you have a really nice soft looking bend, but if you ride the horse like this all the time, he starts to then drift out through the shoulders. But if you rode him every day with this much bend to the inside, he starts drifting, and as you can see when he comes towards the camera, the shoulder is stepping a little bit to the outside. So now what I want Rowan to do is think that 4 times a circle, she just puts her outside leg on just 1 second and straightens him slightly in the outside rein. That's it. We still want flexion. Now the difference between bend and flexion is bend is through the whole horse. So he feels a little bit like a banana around your inside leg. Flexion is where his neck is just flexed to the inside. Again, Rowan, where you overbend to the inside, that's it. Remember that when you have bend, your neck must always be in the center of his shoulders. If you start finding that his head is now on the inside line of his shoulder, he's bent too much. See that? Okay, now put his neck back in the center of his body again. That's it. And you see now the neck can come uphill. Now you can put a tiny bit more flexion into it. That's it, so we have flexion at the junction of his head and neck, but his neck is still staying in the center. Let's change the rein. Remember that flexion makes the horse supple through his neck, so does bend. But if he's bent too much, then instead of making him supple, it keeps stretching one side of his body and contracting the other side of the muscles. You're actually not helping the horse. Remember that everything we ride on the flat is a form of physio. Good. So you see when he trots this way, he's not quite stepped under right here. So I want you to think about keeping your outside leg behind the girth a little bit so he doesn't step his bottom out. So this is the stiff side. So you can see quite clearly the other way was a supple side. So you see when he trots this way, he's not quite stepped under. So to make this happen, come down to the 10-metre circle. Because his belly's not supported, it means his shoulders fall in. That's it. Now leg yield out. Now take him a little bit with your left hand. Take the shoulders and allow them to step left. Very good. That's it. Perfect. Feel how, see how the trot came uphill? Now the trot's come back again, the shoulder looks a little heavy. Take the shoulder to the left again. Encourage him to step his shoulders left. See that? And you see he arched the base of his neck up and under because he lifted his shoulders up out of the way. How does that feel there, Rowan? Yeah? Okay, again, step the shoulders into the left rein. So by just gently guiding him and taking him in the left contact, at the same time as pushing him off your inside leg. He will not step off your inside leg if there's no outside barrier there. So you need to give him a little bit more outside rein so that he will step into it. Come back down to the smaller circle. So think of your left rein creating that little bit of a barrier so he steps into the outside rein. Perfect. Great job. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Kirstin Kelly Equestrian. And if you're enjoying this content, you could become a patron and then you get to contribute to making these great videos and you get great rewards.